Hey everybody, and welcome to episode 16 of the Giant Blue Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Jack. Alongside me, as always, Sean Guy. Back by popular demand once again, Iona Francis. And
Hello.
for the first time on this show, new special guest, Thomas Midena.
Hey guys, it's a pleasure to be here
Pleasure to have
on the
you.
Giant
Do
Blue.
we normally do the round of applause thing? Should we have done that? That was special treatment. I hope you're
No, that's just well deserved on my part.
standard. Whenever
Yeah.
you walk into a room, it's like if there's no round of applause,
I
you
expected
leave.
it.
Walk back in.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Darwin local filmmaker.
Yeah,
How are you going?
I'm very well. I am very excited to be here. I'm just going to send some little messages to the visual viewers just while we go. Just FYI, if you're watching on YouTube, there you go. There'll be
Something
some
special for the
treats
people who
throughout.
aren't on.
It's like
iTunes.
if you're listening to the audio version, Thomas
You
has his
just missed
iPad.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, Thomas
And
has
also,
his
can I
iPad.
just describe for the audio listeners that I am...
Well, now you've ruined it.
I am currently wearing my Star Wars: The Old Republic T-shirt, which
Oh, it's an anus, but
which
okay.
I won
Yep.
8 years ago, and I've been looking for an opportunity to wear it in a place that'll be admired and respected. And I thought here on the Giant Blue Podcast would be a good place to wear that.
Aw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You thought wrong.
The funny
No,
thing
I'm
is-
just kidding.
I'll
I admire and respect you, and I like the shirt.
thanks, Sean. You guys?
No, it's
Definitely.
great, yeah.
It's actually a really
Great.
good place to wear
Should
it.
we do now the round of applause? You should-
Yeah.
Yeah. One more round of applause, then we could
Yay!
move on.
I like it.
It's a good place to sort of wear different shirts, I think, like nerd shirts and stuff like that, or things that you want to plug. I've worn like stuff like that on the podcast before.
Yeah. What happened
Yeah.
now? You're just wearing a white shirt.
Just a plain white shirt. Yeah, well, I'm not
Yeah.
sponsored by
But
anybody
it's
today.
black and white. We should have mixed it up and
Mix and
done a
match.
bit of a
I thought
Collingwood
that. Well, that's
thing.
like
Check
it's
is
like the light
forward.
side and the dark side because
That's how I think
trying
of this
to
as well.
bring it up. Yeah. The yin yang. Anywho, because it's funny with the Star Wars coach. Because initially I was going to get you on a sort of Star Wars podcast. I think
Yeah. Great.
because
Well,
you were one of the like. I finally found someone that like likes the new films. I feel like
Wow.
amongst my friends, everyone's a bit sour on them. I'm okay with them. But
Yeah.
Anyway,
There's a lot to discuss Last Jedi related, but yeah, that's huge.
yeah.
Man.
We shouldn't. We're not going to dive into that today.
It's too much.
Unfortunately.
I'm not ready for that.
So real quick, some housekeeping from the last episode. I wish Michael was here to actually retcon this because one of the topics we had was it was like the worst quality drop off between sequels sort of thing. So like a good first movie and then like what is like the the sequel that's like the worst, like the biggest drop in quality sort of thing. And I can't believe that we didn't mention Spider-Man 1 and 2 and then Spider-Man 3 because that was a huge drop off. Like everyone was upset about that. But I don't know, looking at them now, they're probably like all terrible, I think. I don't know.
They're all pretty cheesy.
They are.
Yeah.
They're all silly.
I feel like I'm one of the few people who still kind of likes them. I don't know
I
if it's
I
just a
like them, yeah.
nostalgia thing.
Oh, for me, they're a guilty pleasure for sure. They're just amazing.
I just like
They're
the way the characters flow through the movies. Like, even James Franco's character, I'm like, yeah, I enjoy it. I don't know. Yeah.
I always liked James Franco, but I don't. Even when I was a kid, I didn't quite like the
Tobey
movies.
Maguire.
I just didn't like. I just watched the first one. And I was like, but it was like at that time we weren't flooded with superhero films. It was
Yeah.
all you had, so you just watched that one. And like, thanks, Thomas.
More
You guys
cues
got to
for
watch that video, the
viewers.
visual version of this. This is happening. This is going to happen throughout the whole thing.
I actually quite like the third Spider-Man as well. Actually. Well, I like all the Spider-Man movies. I'm that guy. But the third one makes me cry every time I watch it.
Yeah.
It's very sad.
Well, I think it's just, I think people just point to that dance sequence as like one of the worst of the sequences ever. When
It's
he has
one
like
of the worst
emo.
sequences in all
Yeah.
of film history.
I know.
think.
Because
It's up
two,
there.
because two, I thought was better than one
Yeah, I
because
still
of like the
love
villain
two.
and some other things, and then three just had that. And I watched a video recently, and it was like all the villains, they all have good motivations. Like even like the Sandman, like his daughter, he's trying to protect Venom. It's like this cool kind of rival to Peter. It's Eddie Brock, and then James Franco is like there's been a lead up with 3 movies. So it's like all these kind of narratives for these characters, but it's like they just are all in the same film, and that's why it doesn't work. And then they didn't learn anything with Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Amazing Spider-Man 2 is my favorite of all of them. I know this is weird. So I'm already getting a bit of hate.
Give me that iPad. I want to write something.
Yeah, I wrote an essay on it in uni.
You're kidding.
Because I just loved it so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. I compared it to 2006 Robin Hood BBC series.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, great.
Which
That's,
one's that one? Is that with Alan Rickman? Is that one?
No.
No,
Who's
TV
the guy?
show.
It's
It's got the guy from The Hobbit in it. Was it Richard Armitage?
Richard Armitage.
yeah.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah.
That fly is so annoying.
Someone
Whoa,
get that
there's a
for me.
fly. There is
The unwanted fifth guest of the podcast.
That's so funny because I thought that movie was trash.
Yeah, that is funny.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because everyone sort of says like, "Oh, Spider-Man: Homecoming is like the best one," and I'm like, "Yeah, but he has help." You know what I mean? It's like if it was like if it was a race, like a 200-meter race or something like that, and it's like all the three Spider-Mans. Yeah. It's like, well, Tom Holland has like Captain America pushing him, like, you know what I mean, and Iron Man. So it's like he's gonna win the race easy. Yeah. But in saying that, I think that's still like the strongest one.
Yeah.
I love that. I love all the Spider-Man films. I think it's just kind of weird.
We'll have to rank them or something then.
I
actually like the first one, the Amazing Spider-Man 1.
I liked the first one.
I thought that was fine. Yeah.
I like the second one, how it just Amazing Spider-Man 2, how it goes crazy, and the villain's motivation is just, Spider-Man didn't know my name.
Yeah,
I'm gonna kill everyone.
That's what I did like. It was so heavy.
I love
like
that.
It's like how it was like, all right, we get it. He's like a weirdo, and he's like gets like bullied like everyone. When he's walking to the street, everyone's just pushing him around, and he's like, excuse me, I'm sorry. And I'm just like, we get it already. Like no one is this like. I don't know. And then halfway through, they're just like, surprise, he's not the villain. It's like the Green Goblin dude. And then,
And Andrew Garfield's more emo than ever. His quiff is higher than ever before. He's talking about going to England. It gets really sad at the end.
There's a rhino.
It's all going ridiculous. They're trying to
Paul
set up
Giamatti's
sequels.
in that film, yeah. That's crazy to think of.
I got to the end of that film, and I was like, we've not seen the rhino fight. And then I was like, oh, they're going to end it on that.
Yeah,
and then sure enough, where the trailer cuts is where the movie cuts, and then, like, credits.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Dane DeHaan is the Green Goblin. That's crazy casting as well. He's like, I feel like he's Academy Award nominated, I think, for something.
For something.
Probably.
Maybe. Certainly not Valerian. Did you see that?
I did not. I did not see
He's
Valerian.
so miscast in that.
Yeah, he was.
It's supposed to be this cool, like, outer space hero, and he's just this kind of
Cara Delevingne's like
little
floating
guy.
over him.
Yeah.
It was kind of weird, yeah.
See, I think...
I like him, though, I have to
I like
say.
him too, yeah.
I mean, because he was in Chronicle. I think that's where everyone sort of first saw him.
Yeah,
I've been meaning to watch that movie again.
I love that.
And then, like, I like Cara Delevingne. I think she gets a bad rap because of Suicide Squad. And everyone's like, she's so shit. And I'm like, that was a badly written character. That was just a bad everything. They were like, Cara, just dance. Just dance, Cara. And then, like, whoever's idea it was to, like, make her troops, like, she has to kiss them and stuff like that.
Him, yeah.
She gets a bad rap. But already,
it was like a horny 14-year-old wrote that film.
That's who David Ayer's like.
Or cast it, maybe. I don't know.
But I mean, everyone's like already like she's like burnt in people's minds. Like people are just like she should go back to modeling, and I'm like,
wow,
ooh, that's harsh.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've not seen.
Mind you, she's a great model too. I'm a big fan of her work on Instagram.
Anywho, should we jump into
move along? Yeah.
the first sort of topic?
Yeah, let's do that.
Is it topic 1? I'll fix it in post. The spelling mistakes.
Okay, thanks, mate.
I should not
feel like
look.
they're
I should not
intentional.
look because then it can surprise me when I have to edit it or whatever it is. Because we were just talking about that. Iona and I were watching like the promo, and she was like, "What Sean said's really funny," and I was like,
And I didn't laugh at it too. I was so upset about it. That's my.
Well, yeah, because everyone's too focused on what they're saying, I suppose. You say some of the funniest stuff and it just goes completely under the radar, and then I'll be editing it and I'll like, that's really funny.
I remember in like the third podcast or something, Jack like faced with me. He's like, "Sean, you said the funniest thing." I was like, "When?" And he's like, "In the podcast. I only just heard it." I was like, "Oh, I'm editing it now." It was like we were talking about like movies like Guardians of the Galaxy or something. And you were saying, how come it seems like all the good music comes from the 80s? And I said, like, oh, we should make more 80s music. And nobody, like, commented at the time. And then, like, 2 weeks later, you were like, Sean, that was hilarious. I was like, okay.
In this episode, we need to take really good note of Sean being funny.
Okay.
Just everyone be quiet. I'll just mute everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I recently figured out how to do that.
We'll just call it out. If I think
If I'm about to be funny, I'll put my hand up. That was one. On the podcast, when you're editing it, just have like a flashing screen, like,
like
joke incoming.
Yeah, in 3, 2, 1.
Yeah,
like,
countdown on screen.
That's great.
That's so brilliant.
How are your podcasts going, by the way? 'Cause you do your own podcast.
Well,
right?
yeah. So I've started like 15 or something over the years, and none of them are going regularly. Oh no, well there's one going regularly at the moment, but it's the latest one that I started just a couple months ago.
So wait, you have your own podcast and you're on this one.
Yeah.
This is probably the most ambitious crossover event since Infinity War.
There it
That was
is.
a little bit funny, Sean.
it's just so embarrassing. I'm not saying anything funny for the rest of the night.
So most of my podcasts are dead. Or no, I'd love to bring them all back is the key. But I sympathise with the effort that podcasting takes. So it's exciting about all this.
I don't know whose idea was to do video. That just like triples the production time. Yeah.
It's good though.
Yeah. And he's got lights and he's got, crew in the background and
Yeah. Shout out to our
Sebastian.
Sebastian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sebastian, get those graphics up every time Sean does a thing, alright? And make sure that
He does a brilliant job.
He'll get us some
gets
more
no
water.
credit.
Sebastian, more drinks.
Thanks, mate.
Alright guys, well we've been chatting for 10 minutes. Maybe we should jump into things. Unless you just wanted this to be the podcast and we just all talk shit for like an hour.
who's supposed to go first though? I just don't. It's not me, is it?
I usually just go with my gut. Like I was going to go first
Great.
and talk about. So this is topic 1. Is I want to talk about the new Oscar category. And what is it called? It's most
Popular? Is
Well,
that the actual
it's-
phrasing? Of
It's outstanding achievement in popular film or best popular film. And the amount of jokes I've heard are so funny. Like basically it's the Black Panther award.
Yeah.
Or it's the movie that made the most money award.
That's what I thought it sort of was, like the highest grossing, kind of. Like there would have to be a correlation, I guess.
Yeah, it's the Fast and the Furious award as well. It's just
Yeah.
like, and it's just, I guess I just want to know. I've got some notes here, but I sort of just want to know what you guys think about it because,
Like it's desperate of the Oscars, isn't it? I think their numbers have been down the past few years.
That's what I've got here. So the
Yeah.
ratings have been the lowest they ever were was this year in
Right.
2018, and they've been going down ever since the 90s.
Is it because they're out of touch? Like the movies, like it's an ongoing joke that no one's seen the movies that get nominated.
Yeah.
But that's the point, though, right? Like, because this award, it's basically, you made the most money in this year. Have something else.
It's what shits me off about the best animated category.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you're not the best film, you're the best animated film. It's like putting you on like a lower shelf. And this is kind of like that. It's like, you're best popular film. Like, you're not best film, It's like
You're not
best...
well made, but people like
yeah. And it's just, I don't know. It's, they've made this new category. And what they've also done is the second thing they've put out.
Sorry, just admiring your screensaver. Continue.
Is they've now got a strict 3-hour runtime. Which, because it was already kind of out of hand, it was like 4.5 hours. But people are now mad at the 3-hour runtime because they're like, oh, great, that's even less time to the kind of lesser known awards like costume or makeup or like sound editing. Like these
Best foreign
fields
film,
that people work so
documentary.
hard in and they don't really get the recognition they deserve already. And now they're probably just it's going to be like on a title screen in between the commercials. It's like, wow, you missed it. Like so-and-so won for sound or something like that. And it's annoying because they always have, it's like, well, if you want to cut time, cut the 20-minute monologue at the start, like with Jimmy Kimmel or Seth MacFarlane or whatever it is. Like, they always do these huge monologues, and the person that wins is like, "Hello, yes, I'm from like I want to thank my," and then they just like they drag them off. They're like, "Oh, time's up already."
Yeah.
So that's like,
And they do always attempt, a funny like kind of sketch or something in the middle of the show that usually isn't funny.
Yeah.
Like this year, I
Okay,
believe
this year,
they went to the cinema next door.
Yeah, I thought that was very
I
funny,
remember that.
actually. They went in with, like, hot dog guns. I thought that was really funny. But I thought my favourite was not this year's, but it was the year before, where it was just, like, a tour bus. They all walked in.
Yeah.
And he was, like, taking them all through, and they're all just, like...
Oh, yeah.
They're at the Oscars, and they're like, oh my god, that's Meryl Streep, oh my god, that's Tom Hanks. Like, they were just, like, right in the front row.
You make it
just,
sound
like,
better
walked
than I
in.
remember it, because I watch the Oscars every year, and I always get shitty at that skit.
Yeah,
I'm like,
no,
come on, move along.
See, I always mean to, and then I don't. I just like Google who won afterwards, or I watch like a highlights thing or something like that. Yeah.
Because I have Mondays off from work anyway, so I'll usually like put it on, and then I'll just like sit on the couch, and I'll be there for the next like 4.5 hours.
Yeah.
Do we have Uber yet in Darwin? I saw Uber guys with Uber shirts at Nando's, and I was
like
like,
Darwin?
oh shit, yeah,
I think it's coming.
it's
isn't it?
coming.
To
they're
our
getting
audio
ready.
In
listeners.
3, 2, yeah. Like, we're gonna get it eventually.
To our audio listeners, he just showed up a sign saying "Hi Oscar," which is this like app, but I don't
It's
know.
a
It's like it's
ride-sharing
a
app
thing,
like
and
Uber.
it's in.
Or were you
Darwin.
just making a joke?
think
I
he
didn't
was
know
just
that.
You didn't know that? I knew you. As soon as I started talking about it, I'm like, he wasn't.
I'm like, what's the segue to Uber?
that's giving you too much
I'm
credit,
happy
yeah.
to talk about this.
I kind of ran with it, but I have to admit I didn't know either.
It's like an Australian Uber. It's called Hi Oscar.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That
to
makes
know.
sense why you brought it up.
Yeah.
I was confused.
Okay.
But on the Oscars, I don't know what the solution is because I feel like they do. I watch it every year pretty much, and I do get bored. I don't know what they should do about it because
That's I mean, it was just what you were saying. They did all the funny jokes and stuff like that, but then the joke is like the Oscars is like. It's artsy and it's film. It's like they should play into that. They should just make it super snobby and like closed doors and armed guards and there's like 20 people, only like the top tier sort of thing.
Yeah.
And it's very serious. There's no jokes at all or something like that.
That would be funnier.
Because the fact that the Oscars are really boring, I don't think adding this topic will make it any better. I think it's just more diving into that whole snobbiness of, oh, well done, you earned the most money. Like, I don't think it's necessary to be putting in that. I think they should be, like, congratulating a field where not many people, it, like, gives them an opportunity to educate people on actually what happens behind closed doors and behind what actually happens in the production. Because everyone knows how much money has gone into a film because they advertise that. They advertise that, like, so much. But they need to, like, kind of, I think it's kind of a good opportunity for them to educate people, to make it more of an educational thing than it is to be more of a congratulating thing as well. Because then that would make it less boring, is that you're kind of learning something. Because you don't really learn anything when you watch the Oscars. It's more of just like oh yeah, okay, cool, they got this award, this person got this award.
Yeah.
Oh, this person's
I see
really
what you
sad
mean.
because they're like they finally got there in the end, and it's just like, yeah, I can see why it's boring.
Like
but
if
I
they
feel
were
like
doing like
adding
sound
a topic,
editing and it told us why they got that award or something. Is that
Yeah.
what you mean? Like,
no, but just
That's
like I think
why it stands out more. I mean, I still get a bit confused between the sound editing award and the sound mixing
Oh,
award.
yeah, I have
I'm
no
like,
idea.
I kind of get it. I mean, I tell people I get it, but
And I mean, usually the same thing wins, which is just even more confusing.
yeah,
So,
it's like the Transformers or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I think that's a great idea of including, something interesting. Yeah.
I think,
that you don't know.
I don't think adding a extra. I don't really like the whole idea of adding a new category because it's just like diving into the more. Oh, we don't have enough time to do this.
I feel it's already splintering the audience furthermore because it's like there's like the artsy or Oscar bait sort of stuff, and then there's like. As a YouTuber put it, the ghetto that is the most popular stuff. Like, and it's just like, it's just like it's just splintered it furthermore. It's like you can have all your superhero movies in this category, sort of thing.
They'll announce a new participation category.
Yeah.
Oh, you made a film.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I read something as well. People are annoyed that they're like, oh, great, they made like the Who Made the Most Money award, but they didn't make an award that's like that people have been clamoring for years, which is best stunt work. Or like best sort of practical, or not maybe, practical effects and visual effects is now kind of rolled into one.
And best Andy Serkis character.
Best motion capture.
That's right.
Best motion capture performance. That's like, just sort of
Yeah.
more creative stuff. These stunt guys work hard, sort of thing. Like in Mission
Yeah.
Impossible.
Yeah.
Mission Impossible movie.
Yeah, no.
Who also might win.
Imagine
If
if
that doesn't
Tom
win
Cruise-
sound editing and sound mixing, like, I'm going to riot. But yeah, we'll talk about that in the spoiler cast after this one.
What do you think is going to win the popular, though? Black Panther?
Well, that was last year, wasn't it? Well, can I?
No, it was this year.
Can I swing in a little bit here? Because
Sure.
I've got.
Yeah.
I did a bit of research on this, and there was like a.
Here we go.
Yeah. Sorry. So there was like someone on Facebook put out a list of what would have won in the last like 10 years if there had been a popular vote, popular Oscar. So I kind of want
the
to.
most money, right, or something.
Well. Oh god, that's all right. So I've got like a sort of a few things here I want to run you through because I think the way to look at it, because my gut was with the popular Oscar that it was a good thing because it was like movies that deserve awards that aren't getting them basically. So I want to run this through you guys and see if you think that there are movies here that deserve awards that didn't get them, and if so, is the popular Oscar going to fill that gap? So I'll give you a couple of examples. 2008 they had The Dark Knight. 2009 was Avatar, and 2010 was Toy Story 3. That was what supposedly these people thought would have won the popular vote.
And
So-
they were nominated for Best Film. Avatar and Dark... No,
Yeah.
actually, no, Dark Knight wasn't. But Avatar was. That
I'm
was
not
the best
sure.
film
I
for
should
that
have
year.
probably checked that.
And
I
I
don't
don't know-
think Dark Knight was.
Now,
No.
but Heath Ledger won
A
an Oscar.
posthumous Oscar for supporting actor.
And I think in my opinion, is what really was truly deserving of that.
Yeah,
was
he
that
was a standout.
he took it to the Oscars, and that he got that recognized, like he got recognized for it. So then that puts that into a bundle of going, okay, cool. Toy Story, yeah, I guess. I don't know.
I would have loved Dark Knight to win an Oscar. That's pretty much my whole thinking there.
Well, that was the thing, because basically it was I think it was 2000 and, I put 10 here, but I think it was 2010. They made the Best Picture nominations, they changed it from like 6 to 10, and then in 2009 they included things like Avatar and District 9, which didn't win, but like it was to kind of sort of play to like the more mainstream sort of stuff, I suppose.
Well, all right, so let's make a bit of a game out of it. So 2011, I got a couple of films here. I want you to tell me which one you guys think would have won Best Most Popular Film. Okay, so Bridesmaids, Fast 5, Harry Potter 7 Part 2, Ghost Protocol, and Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 1.
Oh.
And I've got the one that they think would have won. I don't know.
Which Harry Potter was it, sorry? Part 1 or 2?
Last
Part
one.
2.
Part 2.
Oh, I'll go Harry
Very,
Potter.
very last.
Yeah, I'd go that one.
Yeah, I'd probably go that too.
No, I reckon probably
Bridesmaids,
Bridesmaids,
yeah.
because
Right.
because I know that the Part 1 was more popular than Part 2. Wait, what have you got?
Bridesmaids, Harry Potter.
I'll go Harry Potter.
Part 2 was much better than Part 1.
Yeah, but it's like a thing where I might be wrong. Anyway, yeah, keep going.
There's Minions on there. Where's that?
They haven't made the list at all.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
That's weird.
They were robbed. Alright, the lads have it. Harry Potter, apparently.
Oh, okay.
Alright, here we go.
But the thing is, did Bridesmaids get in the, best comedy?
I believe so, because that's like the Golden Globes, isn't it? They have best musical and best comedy rolled into one, I think, and that's what
Right.
Right.
Because I feel like as long as they get an award, I'm happy, basically. But yeah,
You mean Bridesmaids specifically, as long as they got an award?
yeah, that's just what I'm gunning for right now. Just Bridesmaids, nothing else. Yeah.
We'll give them the Best Giant Blue Podcast Award. It's like 7
Right.
years later, but...
It's just
Thanks for that.
The problem again with this category is like it happens with the animation category. It's like I think Up was nominated for best animated feature and also best film.
Yeah.
And so it's like if you're in both categories, like if you're nominated for best film and you're an animated feature, you're also in the best animated category. It's like who's gonna win the best animated category? Big surprise! Like it was Up. Like
It's going to be like that with this, because
Yeah,
there'll be films that
exactly.
are like most popular and,
yeah.
best feature, like Mad Max
Like
and stuff like that.
or like Interstellar or something like that.
Interstellar,
Like it'd be
yeah.
like one of the Nolan sort of stuff or something like that.
Right.
Basically, everyone go watch, again, we bring it up all the time, Lindsay Ellis. She's got an Oscar bait video, a history, and I don't think it's that long, but it sort of goes like where that term kind of came from. Because like, it's hard to believe, but Star Wars was nominated for Best Picture when that came out. Star Wars was like an achievement of cinema. And it's like something that kind of changes cinema and redefines stuff.
And it lost to Annie Hall.
Sorry?
It lost, Star Wars.
Oh.
Didn't win. Annie Hall won, I think.
That part I forgot to look up, but all I know is it was there.
Sorry.
But also
I'm
Star
still
Wars
mad.
is like arguably the most popular film of all time and made the most money of all time. I think if you adjust for inflation, I believe or maybe it's like Gone with the Wind and then it's like Star Wars or something like that. So it's like that was the highest grossing film of that year, and it was nominated for Best Picture. And so there's kind of been this sort of weird decline where studios, because Star Wars was a kids film, so studios now are like they like focus on more kids stuff, and so things aren't really that smart and whatnot. God, I'm gonna have to check these, like time code these every time they pop up.
Do you want to do another year?
I don't even know what I'm
Yeah,
talking about anymore.
Yeah, I want to do another year.
Alright,
Finish the game.
alright, let's play the game. Alright, 2012. The Avengers, Dark Knight Rises, Hunger Games, Skyfall, or The First Hobbit.
That was a very good year. What year was that?
2012. That was the year the world ended.
Yeah. Why isn't 2012 on that? Was it? Yeah. The movie.
Because that movie, that movie,
It was a great film.
That came out in 2009 or something like that.
Oh, did it?
It wasn't in 2012, I don't think. It was
that
a
makes
few years
sense,
before.
I guess.
Because they were
I
like,
think-
if it doesn't, like, because if
they were like, "What's your marketing strategy for this film?" It's like, we have to get it out before the world actually ends.
They're like, you probably won't, but if it does, they're like, is there any way we can spin this? And they're like, no, there's no PR or viral marketing. They're like, if shit's happening out there, they're not gonna want to go into a cinema and watch.
No one's
more
gonna buy tickets if the world is.
2012 merchandise. Oh my god!
I survived the end of the world.
Yeah, exactly. They're
What
like,
was the name of the main actor?
they're just like, they're like, oh, it's like everything's collapsing all over again, and it's like, guys, it's like 2012. They're like, too soon. It's like I read something about that recently. The Deer Hunter movie, like,
Yeah.
The Deer Hunter. It's about Vietnam. Apparently, that movie only came out like 2 or 3 years after Vietnam War ended.
Jeez.
Like,
Wow.
and that's why people were just kind of like, well, like nobody saw it. But it's
Yeah.
like over time,
Too
it's like
soon.
being appreciated more. It's like, anyway, that's
Yeah.
funny. I don't know.
That's interesting.
I
I'm thinking the Avengers.
I think Avengers was on that list. So I'm gonna go
want to
Avengers. too.
shout out to the first Hobbit. I really love the first
they're
Hobbit.
such good
But you
films.
got
Slowest
to.
Hobbit.
Sorry,
Nothing.
the worst one.
I said the slowest.
Oh, I disagree. I don't know. I love that. I love the
know.
film.
We
I
should
love
rank the
them.
Lord of the Rings.
I enjoyed
as well.
them.
We'll just rewatch them.
I do think they get.
I enjoyed
think
it
I
too.
do think they
Yeah.
get worse.
Yeah, it's
I
interesting.
think the first one's like perfect. The second one's fun, but it's very heavily like Hollywood
yeah.
execs being like, yeah, put a girl in there and a love romance and a
Mm.
dragon, like yeah, and then the third one is just a big old mess.
Third
But that's
one.
another
Interesting,
topic. All right.
yeah.
Avengers for me.
Good call. Your one. That was probably
What's-
too easy.
Is this scientific? Like,
No.
what is the winner here? It's just what the internet says.
It's what.
Okay.
Oh, it's like
what's-
what was most popular.
Shout out to
during the
Watch
year.
Mojo. It's what Watch Mojo said.
Yes,
I don't wanna
I
plug
believe Watch Mojo.
I don't want to
Um,
plug Watch Mojo.
Sorry.
or so.
Just bleep that out or
Like-
something.
Top 10 shoes and disaster movies or some whatever they're up to now. Like they're really scraping the bottom. of the
I
barrel.
had to find a list.
Yeah,
at
yeah.
Short,
No, fair enough.
short notice. All right.
I'm a bit out of it, by the way,
Yeah.
guys. Like, if I sound croaky or like I'm not super on top of it, I'm a little bit under the weather. And I should have researched more into the sort of decline into the Oscar bait stuff.
Yeah.
Basically, there's an episode of Extras where Kate Winslet's like, she's like, oh, I know how to win an Oscar, and she's like, I just have to like be in a World War II movie, and or like she just lists like all these things, like have like an illness or something like that.
we-
and
That
it's-
is a fantastic TV show, is The Extras.
Last week we were watching those fake trailers for like Oscar-winning films and stuff. They were really funny. Like the music swelled, and it was like, now say something about your, I don't know, the supporting character who you know is going to die tragically or something. That was funny. We should link that. All right, here's another one. 2015. The Martian, Jurassic World, Avengers: Age of Ultron, Creed, Mad Max, or Star Wars: The Force Awakens.
I am going to go.
Star Wars Force
I'm
Awakens.
gonna go Mad Max.
I'll go Jurassic World.
Ooh, you're split. I like it. What'd you say again? What was each one?
I said
Go
Mad
on, Sean.
Max.
Mine was Star Wars.
Mine was Jurassic World.
Iona!
Yeah.
Of course it was Star Wars. Force Awakens, like,
I'm like, it was
I wasn't
huge.
trying
And they
to
were
watch Mojo.
saying
Wait,
how it
wait.
was like,
I wasn't trying to guess. I was giving you what my personal opinion.
oh,
Am I not
sure.
playing the game? Am I
you're
not playing the
most
game right?
impaired.
Yeah.
the safe bet goes for Best Picture.
Yeah.
No, I would have gone Mad Max as well, I think.
And what? All right, one more.
All right, one more.
And then
Last
we'll
one.
jump
Last one.
into.
Nice.
All right, 2017, last year, okay? Last year. What movie do you think would have won most popular Oscar
So now I know how to
according
play.
to... Now he knows the rules. Sorry.
I'm just giving my favorite. That's why I was like, I really like The Hobbit. Like, just I'm having my own
Wow.
sort of thing. I'm just like not paying
we need a
attention.
camera just on you.
Yeah.
All right, 2017.
I miss my camera on me where I can just sort of look at it. Like,
There's not one there.
Where did it go?
yeah, no, dude, budget cuts. We had to get you on somehow. Yeah.
Yikes. Season 2's
It was
gone
like,
down, everybody.
Thomas Midena, new camera. Like, we had to choose,
Sebastian actually dropped it and broke it.
yeah, that's
Ah.
Just kidding, dude. Sorry. Just relax. All right. 2017. Get Out. Wonder Woman. Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Logan. It. The Stephen King one. There's a lot here. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Or Beauty and the Beast.
This one's harder. None
Yeah.
of them stand out in particular.
Do you want me to-
Say it
It's
again.
gotta be Star Wars.
Beauty and the Beast. That's the live action.
I think it always cleans up.
Guardians Volume 2. Stephen King's It. That probably would have been my... Or Logan. Logan's good. Star Wars The Last Jedi. I'm not trying to throw you off here. Wonder Woman, which Jack loves. Or Get Out.
It's
You say that like
either
I'm the only one that like everyone liked that movie.
Wonder Woman,
Wonder
which
Woman.
Jack
likes.
liked. Yeah.
Put that on the poster.
Wonder Woman was a film that you liked, alright?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
Okay,
get
hold
into
on.
it.
But
It was
that's not the
fine.
rules of the game, is it? It's not which one Jack liked. It's fucking which one did the best. And I'm gonna go with Star Wars because Star Wars always makes a shit ton of money and everyone
I'm
likes Star
gonna
Wars.
say either Beauty and the
Or that
Beast,
one, yeah.
or now I've forgotten the other one.
Logan, It, Guardians. Get Out. Star Wars. Wonder Woman.
It's probably I'm gonna say probably Guardians. It's either Beauty and the Beast or Guardians for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Wonder-
could easily see it being one of those, but I'll go Star Wars as well.
Star Wars, and you're all wrong. It was Wonder Woman.
Wow.
Be
Ah.
upset.
Should have just went with
When,
my
if
favourite
that
from
was
that
the
one.
one time you should have gone
I
with the
should
one
have
that
went
you
with
liked.
the one that I liked.
I don't know
yeah.
why I didn't score that. We were playing a game, and now I don't know who won.
I had a whole bunch of
sorry.
stuff from the IMDb Top 250. I looked at like Oscar movie winners that are in there, and there's a bunch of them, but I can't bother going into them. We need to move on. So let's
Let's do it.
let's
move
wrap
on.
that one and move on to topic 2. Let's go with you, Sean. Actually, no. Let's go with
Well,
Thomas.
that was kind of mine.
Well, that was a
I mean, I
quick
can do
change.
another one if you
All right, then we'll go with you, Thomas. Then.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Well, I was gonna bring up basically cinema.
It's creaky. Sorry.
Mate, calm down. I'm talking here. We're starting my topic, right?
Someone's actually
What
having
is
sex
this?
just over there, and all we can hear is
Just the creaking.
All right. I'm just gonna wait for
you guys
listeners.
want some water? Let's do this while.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right. You guys have a drink. I'll start the topic.
Just talk. We can all hear you.
Oh no, that's all good.
What I was saying.
So, cinema.
Guys, shut up. He's trying to
cinema
talk.
Wait, I'll mute
subscription
you.
services.
Oh shit! Shut up. This is getting out of hand.
Cinema subscription services, which they've got some in America so far. None have come to Australia yet, but in America they've got. The biggest one is called Moviepass. Have you guys heard of it at all before?
I have heard of it.
Yeah,
Is it-
yeah.
I hadn't.
Yeah, well,
From my knowledge, it's like you pay however much a month, and you get like you can go to the movies as many times as you want.
yeah, totally. And it
And
started.
for some reason, people hate it.
Yeah. Well, it started in America like quite a few years ago, and over the years, the system they've changed it basically a bunch of times because they're trying to work out, what will people pay, and how do we get lots of people paying the subscription to go see movies each month.
Wait, so it's a
And,
subscription to a cinema. It's not like an online.
It's a
Yeah.
subscription to basically all cinemas in America.
What?
Movie passes.
So,
Why would people not want that?
so pretty much it's $10 a month.
$10 a
and
month.
You can see pretty much up to one movie a day.
Yeah.
And the problem is you can't buy more than one ticket. So it's like they're trying to work out. A lot of people complain about that. How they want to go with like a friend, and then
So they get their
only.
own thing. Can't they just subscribe themselves?
It's not like Netflix where you can
There's-
leech off of like someone else. Yeah.
Yeah. There's. Oh, there was like quite a few issues. They've had like a lot of issues with the app. Apparently, it's really bad.
Wait,
You
it's
can't book.
app.
Yeah, so you subscribe online. They give you a card, and then you have an app, and you essentially link the card up to the app, and then it's like a credit card. And you go, and you have to be at the cinema and book there on the app to use the credit card. People want to like book in
What's the
advance
point
and
of
stuff.
having an application if you have to be there to use it?
Yeah, that's and
I mean, still to me, it's worth it for the $10 a month. That's
Yeah.
like if
Tom-
I went to the cinemas every day, I'd be
Tom,
paying
how-
like 20 cents a movie.
Is Iona pretty spot on there?
Yeah, exactly. And well, that's just the
So
problem. The $10 a month thing, and they were offering, you could see a movie every day for $10 a month at cinemas. And basically, they were criticized, like, how can you actually afford to keep this up? Because they have to pay the cinemas, of course. Moviepass do. So, and they have really struggled to keep that up. They've run out of money. Earlier this year, I think last month, they had to they turned off the whole Moviepass service for a day because they were like, oh, we need to find some new funding, actually. And so now they've just changed the system a bit, so you can see, I think, 3 movies a month for $10.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
better.
And they pick what movies, and they're putting in all these new rules and stuff. But essentially, ideally, it's just in a subscription service where it's kind of cheaper to see a lot of movies at the cinema.
Well, I like the idea of it. I mean, I would
I do
happily
too.
pay like
It sounds like-
$60 a month
yeah.
if it was getting me like 10 to 20 movies, because that's still like
Yeah.
a
It is.
quarter
You're still
fraction of what I'm
saving
paying.
money, especially I would assume us guys, because we go to the movies all the time.
Yeah.
But it's I don't know. I do like the idea. I think it's such a good idea, but I don't like the whole idea that they give you a credit card. I would like it if I would subscribe to it if it was just an app and that you booked online and you rocked up the next day and you go, hey, because you know how like you go online and they go,
You should
oh,
stop
would you
talking and you should patent your idea and then make it
Iona
yourself.
Pass.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's
I'll subscribe to the Iona Pass.
Yeah.
But you're so essentially, you know how like when you book online or buy anything online, it comes up with, oh, you want to use PayPal or credit card or gift voucher. You would have the option of Moviepass. You click in and you go, oh, this is my account. Just like Netflix, you log on.
Oh, yeah.
And they go, cool, that's 2 movies ticked off your 3-month pass. Come and enjoy your film. And then that way you can, if it's 3 tickets, or you could do 4, so if you're a couple, you can see 2 movies together for... and then
Again, I think you shouldn't be talking all this.
You're getting all the best ideas.
so it's just like a thing where I think it would make it a little bit more easier, and if that idea came to Australia, I would so subscribe because that would be beautiful. But what they currently got going, I don't like, and I don't like how. I don't know.
Ultimately,
it's just,
it sounds like it was a good idea and it just wasn't executed as well as it could have been.
Yeah, I mean, everything's going subscription. Hey, there's more and more subscription.
Yeah, and
it's all
yeah.
music and video now.
Yeah, and I love the arguments that
Yeah.
people say. It's like Spotify is like, what, $14 a month for all the music in the world. Like,
Exactly.
what
Yeah.
else? And like,
And people still
yeah.
complain.
and like, and I have Netflix, and I don't even think about it really. Like, I go like months, like I don't even check it or use it, but it's just like I like knowing that it's there, and it's like
That's the key.
and
Yeah.
that's the thing, and it's the convenience, and that's what they've doubled down. It's like it is just convenient. Like I can have it on my phone, on my computer, on my Xbox, and I just like load it up, and I just like, I'm like, if it's not on Netflix, I get like annoyed, you know. But not at Netflix, I get annoyed at like other. Oh, I guess I do. I'm like,
Society.
Netflix should have everything or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm keen for it to come to Australia in some form. There are some other companies starting up in America too, in competition, maybe
Yeah.
trying to do it better. And some of them are just like the cinema chain itself. So
Yeah.
there's a chance just like here, Event Cinemas or Village could just start doing it
which
just for
I
their
think
cinemas.
would work.
They probably should. I mean, they kind of had the point system, I guess. It's like every
Yeah.
six,
You
every
already
what is it?
sort of
Every
exist.
6 films you
see one
you
free.
That's
or you
right,
can get
it's
discounted.
close.
Like I saw Mission Impossible Fallout, and it was the VMAX just showing. They were just like, "Hey, do you want? You've got enough points here for like a discounted ticket." And I'm like, "Done." Like, yep, like sure. Like it was like from $30 to like $12. I'm like, yeah, of course.
It's you
Like,
going to the cinema. Hey, do you want to pay less to see this movie?
I'm like, no, I hate myself.
Can you
Yeah.
actually charge me a bit more? It's been one of those.
It's like
days.
it's like the frequent flyer miles. I'm trying to get to like 1 million points, and they're like, "Sir, please, you've got 30 free tickets on here," and I'm like, "No, I'm waiting to meet Spielberg or something." Like,
Well,
Yeah.
the thing, Event Cinemas, a VMAX ticket is what, like $19, $20, something like that. So
Yeah.
with Telstra, if you're a Telstra member, you can
Yeah.
already get them for $16.50. And then me and my friend Mitchell, we go to the cinemas so much, and we got those card things. What are they called?
The Cinebuzz cards.
The Cinebuzz cards.
Yeah.
So we've used that so much that now we get discounts through that as well. And they're like, you could see any movie for the rest of this month or something for $15. It's like, okay. So like, I mean,
Yeah.
I guess if it's a value for money thing, I'm always for it. But
well, someone posted in one of your groups they were like selling one of those things. It was like $100 for like.
that's just like a gift voucher thing, I think. But
Yeah.
you can get.
But I thought
like-
it was a good idea.
Yeah, because it's like if you buy a pack of 10, tickets in advance, you get it for like the price of 9.
Yeah.
It's like it's a simple,
Yeah.
Thomas, did you have any more you wanted to add or talk about?
Oh, well, just my, well, basically, because this is all trying to get more people to go to the cinema, isn't it? So, just my idea to compete with Iona Pass, basically. I would love Iona Pass. Iona Pass
we
is
should
the
play
goal.
Shark Tank with our guests.
Iona Pass is the
Yeah,
idea.
so I'm like, I don't go to the movies. Why should I? How are you gonna get me to come?
Well, okay. Here's the
Yeah.
pitch, all right? Iona Pass isn't out yet, so you need something in the meantime. I'm going to offer you that.
Okay.
Actually, this
So
might
you're
be
gonna
better.
beat it to the market. I like that strategy. You're just like it's not as good, but it's out now as opposed to waiting however long.
You got me.
And actually, if you decide that this is better than Iona Pass, that's fine. I'll be okay with that. But I think this would be great
Yeah.
when you pay full price to see a movie at the cinema, you should own that movie on digital for the rest of your life. I think that'd be perfect. If you see a movie, you own it. And then I wouldn't mind if ticket prices are high. Because I see any movie, I've got it.
I quite like that idea.
I quite like it
Makes
too.
it so simple.
Well, no, because what if you hate that movie?
No, but you own it. You don't get forced to watch it.
No,
They don't ring
yeah.
you up once
I
a
don't
year and you're
want
like,
this in the
remember you
library."
saw this movie last July? Watch it again.
I feel like that's gonna, but like every movie that I'm on the fence about, I'm like, I don't know if I want to spend $50 on a ticket because then if I don't like it, I'm stuck with
I
this
see what you're
digital
saying.
copy
Because
that,
you're thinking-
that follows me
Yeah.
everywhere.
What if it's an option?
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, the digital bundles.
Because
$20
I'm
for a
thinking-
ticket or $30 and you get it forever.
I was with you so far. I was like, this is a cool idea. Yeah, like Avengers. I'm like, yeah, like let's just do it. Like,
No, I'm totally off it now, actually. I think it's a terrible
Because
idea.
the first thing that I jumped to was
I'm
like
not the best. Was it? What do they call it? Like when they test like the guinea pigs. What do they? What do they?
No, you're a great guinea pig.
No, market research. What do they call it?
I don't know, canvas.
animal abuse.
You know when they do Fairly Feud, they have a
Yeah.
pool of people.
Like a
Control
test audience
panel.
sort of thing.
Yeah.
Control. What do they call it in games? Yeah. We nailed that.
Like yeah.
Nobody knows the word for it. Let's edit that out of the podcast.
What do they call it? Like
No,
a
I
sample
wanna move
size
on.
of people, like a beta, like. So they put it out. Yeah, test subjects, but they have like
Test audience, isn't it? Something like that?
yeah. There's a name for it though. I can't remember.
I don't know.
No,
I am worried though. Sorry.
No, I like that idea, but I just automatically think about like if you're already trying to sell your DVDs, it's just become a lot more harder, so that people start accumulating more and more DVDs into their homes.
Well, see,
and
that's
like-
why I like
You said
his idea,
you
because he
said
said
digital
digital.
copy.
And I thought that was awesome.
Oh, is it? Do you say digital?
We'll go digital.
Okay, yeah,
You
I
said
like digital.
Big line from DVD. VH. Yeah.
What do you mean people don't watch videos anymore?
Well, that's the funny thing. It's like even on the Xbox now, like in the store, I swear it was like I saw The Last Jedi, and then I was like on the Xbox, and it was like buy Last Jedi right now, and I was like, huh? And then you click on it, it's like you can pre-order it. I can like. I can pay it fucking 6 months in it. It's like, who's like that high on the movie? They go home and immediately pre-order it.
Also, that's another thing.
It's like you can pre-order it, and it's like it's not going to come out for forever, but you can still buy it. I guess.
Alright, wait. Can I
It's just
Shark
funny.
Tank now? It's my turn.
Hold on, really quickly.
Alright, and then
That's
my pitch.
another
Good
thing.
lord.
Another thing about Thomas, your idea is
Oh,
it
here we go.
opens up to so much more pirating, so that movie companies don't earn it. Because if one friend goes and sees, they go, "Oh, here's a movie. It was shit."
It's
Or
a
they
good
go,
point.
"Oh, this is a really great film. Here's it for free."
Well, then you just
It
make
just
it that you
opens
can't
it.
share your digital copy then. I suppose.
Yeah,
Which is
they'll
already
always find a
problem.
way of capturing it, won't they? If
Yeah.
anyone's got a high quality copy, they'll.
No, I
that's
guess the
another-
digital copy just doesn't get sent to you until it's not in cinemas anymore.
That's
So-
like
Oh yeah, good point, Sean.
So it's like 2 weeks, but it's still quicker than waiting for Netflix.
Hmm.
I mean, I think the point of your thing
yeah.
is that it's not competing against DVD sales because people don't really buy them anymore. It's competing against like Netflix and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, do you want to own like the 100 movies that you've seen in the last year and wanted to see? Or do you want to own 10,000 movies on Netflix that you're never going to watch?
Yeah, the point is you're going to go to the cinema and not just have a temporary experience. This is gonna
Exactly.
last.
It's more lasting
Yeah.
experience.
And there's always the case of the people. I'm so sorry. I'm like absolutely throwing your.
I like this idea.
Can I watch it? Can I watch it at the same time and have it on the iPad and on the big screen? Like just kind of.
No.
Okay.
Okay, so here's the idea for the Sean pass.
That was stupid. Yeah. That was
That was
that's
where we
just-
draw the line, Jack.
Well, do you remember on the very first podcast that we put out? we talked about this so a little bit. We talked about subscription services and
We
the cinema.
did a little bit, yeah.
And how, like, it's cinema, people aren't going to the cinema as much because they prefer to just stay
you
at home
guys
and watch
weren't
on
there, you're
TV.
just guests.
But, like, and because I like going to the cinema. Like,
So do I.
Why? No, I do too.
I just
I
like
love
that
the
experience, I
cinemas.
think.
Absolutely.
Because we talked about it on that podcast. We can link that, I suppose. Or just put it in a clip. But, like, because when you watch it at home, it's like, when you go to the cinema, you're in kind of this space where everyone does turn off their phone. It's like, we are watching a movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whereas at home, it's like people get up and they chit-chat and they're on the phone and stuff like that. And it's like not as an immersive experience.
I think
Oh,
people
yeah.
have
And it's
lost
not-
that concept of value for money because now everyone's like, Netflix is $14 and it gives me 10,000 movies. Yes, this is the best value for money ever. It's like, no, but it's not because you don't even watch those films. You know, you put them on in the background while you're playing Overwatch or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, people just don't like, or people just like watch it on their phone or something like
Yeah,
that. And it's
it's
like, I
not the
really don't
same.
think, and I guess maybe it's like the art person in me. It's like, that's not the way I think the director intended you to watch that. And
Yeah,
that's the
yeah.
big joke. It's like, I think Ryan Johnson tweeted about The Last Jedi. He was like, The Last Jedi is meant to be experienced on a plane in 4x3
Yeah.
behind someone's seat. And it's like, yeah, like, it's, yeah, you go to the cinema and it's like the best visual, the best sound. Not always, but like,
Yeah.
like the VMAX cinema is
It's
really good.
much more immersive.
Like, that's what you're paying for. And it's like, that's the way the director probably intended for you to watch it. And you're getting the best experience. And I think I said this on the other one. It's like, the cinemas have been around since cinema was a thing. Like, that's how you saw a movie, was you had to go to the cinema. Because people didn't have televisions and stuff like that. And I just find that really kind of cool. And
I don't think
so-
it's going
and
to die. I think the death
Oh,
of the
yeah.
cinema is well over out of proportion.
You think it's overblown?
Yeah, I don't
I'm a little worried. I think people just don't go out as much. But... Or it is going to turn... I mean, what that's already happened is it's these big event movies that get it. Like Avengers or Jurassic World or Star Wars. Like, the smaller films don't. But then smaller films you don't often have to see on the big screen because you want to see like the
It's
effects.
tricky
and-
because
Yeah.
I would go
And
and
the
watch more like Oscar films, but they don't always come to Darwin because it's the smaller cinemas. So it's like a
yeah.
vicious cycle.
If
of-
I had Iona Pass, I would
Oh,
see every movie in the
me
cinema
too.
because it'd be cheaper. Yeah.
I'd
Or-
go much more often.
Well, what's yours called?
Tom Pass.
Tom Pass.
But it's not a subscription service.
Tom Pass sounds like, I don't know, now because it's like pass. It sounds like you're like passing
Compass.
on something. No, compass. Yeah. Tompus.
Oh, yeah, you
Tompus.
pronounce it like compass.
Tompus.
Compass. Yeah.
I don't want it anymore.
That's the thing. That's the other issue here is I've already got Iona Pass. I can't afford Tom
What?
Pass as well.
Well, I didn't know you already
Hulu,
had it.
and
Netflix,
and
Stan, Hulu, Spotify.
That's the problem
That's
these
the problem.
days. So
It's-
many subscription services.
like, oh my god, yeah, like it's everything now. Like,
Yeah.
I thought about getting YouTube Red the other day,
yeah.
like and stuff like that because you can download it.
Imagine
for
if there
playing.
was just one streaming service with every movie ever made on it, and it costs like $100 a month. Would you guys do that?
I'd
That's not my pitch,
consider
by the way.
it. Like,
If it had
How much?
music in,
Like say $100
then
a month.
yes. If it was
had
including
everything.
music,
No,
yeah.
literally every movie ever.
Well, yeah,
and
I
music.
guess so.
For me, it would be movies and music. Then yes, because I'm already paying subscription for my music. If I could just cancel it all and it to be all in one, I'm happy
Yeah.
to pay that money because it's just organized.
yeah, because currently I just off and on a bit. Like, Netflix for a while, and then I'm like, I've watched most of the stuff there. Something cool is on Stan, go Stan, then
Yeah.
Amazon.
But do you cancel your subscription?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah. Try and month to month it a little bit.
Well done, I guess.
Thanks.
I miss having like Stan as well. I miss having the both of them because you go on Netflix if it's not there, you go into Stan. But it's like I don't know. I felt weird having both of them if it was just me paying. Like if you live with like roommates or anybody, I suppose, like more than
Yeah,
one person, someone can get Stan and then you get Netflix and you have best of both worlds.
Yeah.
But now I hear, well, DC just launched their streaming service with Titans, whatever it is.
Disney's getting theirs.
Disney is
Yeah.
starting their
I'm
one.
okay with the Disney one, I think.
That'll be huge.
I'm
Because
okay.
they got so much content now.
Well,
I'm
that's just, it's like
I kind of want that.
everything Marvel, everything Star Wars, and everything Disney. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
going to be on that. And they'll probably get more stuff as well. Just-
I'm already annoyed by how I have to subscribe to it because, yeah, it'll have everything, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I guess what will happen to the Netflix Marvel shows? I guess they'll just be isolated on Netflix or something. Like,
I assume they would take them back. I don't know how the
well,
rights
because
work.
the rumor was that Disney was going to buy Netflix, and then Netflix were like,
Right.
"No, we're good," and then Disney was like, "All right then," and then they were like, "Got to work." Yeah.
We do our own thing.
Yeah, file new project. Yeah, like Disney Netflix.
If you can't buy
Working
'em,
title.
beat 'em.
Yeah, exactly. How do you think we got rich? Yeah.
Wait, I want to quickly pitch Sean Pass.
Oh,
That's right.
Give me.
I thought you just did.
No,
Wasn't
no,
it
no.
the $100 a
No,
month
that
for
was just
everything?
different. Okay, give me 30 seconds, right? What you do... Okay, you go to the cinemas, right? You come out of the cinema,
This episode,
and
yeah.
then you pay for the ticket. Radical, I know. You
What?
pay for the... No, but wait. You decide...
Sold.
You decide the price of the ticket, if it's going to be 15, 20, 30... But
Yeah.
you get to decide if it comes with a digital copy, the DVD copy, the soundtrack, the merchandise.
Oh, the soundtrack!
Yeah! Fuck yeah! Sean Pass!
this is actually great. I thought it
Okay.
was going to be terrible for a second.
I do like that you're about to go in, like to make sure that you watch the movie. It's like a club that extends.
Yeah.
You're like, did you see? You're like, yup. Like, and then
No,
You
but
have a
until you walk
security guard or
out.
something who's like, no, you can't get out. Dude.
my immediate thought was like, if like what I said, if you don't like the movie, then you can be like, nope, I'm not paying for it.
yeah, I thought you were going
I don't
like,
want- I don't
I think that was worth $3.
I don't want to give the director any more if I'm like something, because that's the problem. Is like all these
Yeah.
movies make so much, and producers go, "Hey, this movie made $1 million." They're like, but so nobody liked it. Like, nobody, and they were like, "I don't, that's $1 billion." Like, what was it like Alice in Wonderland made like $1 billion? Tim Burton's one, so they made that sequel,
Yeah.
which nobody saw. Maybe you saw. I don't know.
I
I
saw
wasn't
it,
listening.
but I didn't.
Yeah.
These guys both just started yawning.
So I was just thinking about Sean Pass a bit more. And yeah,
So wait, you pitch it before you go in how much money you think you want to
no,
pay?
you
no.
watch it and then you decide.
you basically get
But
these
this is
extras when you come out.
leave. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
well,
So
yeah.
you can just buy the ticket, or you can buy add-ons.
Mm.
Is that what you're
Yes.
saying?
I like
Okay.
that as
Add-ons.
long as the add-ons were
It's
like
like-
heavily discounted from, just
Yeah.
buying them standalone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
It's
we've
not
seen-
$20
yeah.
for a movie. It's like $5 or something.
That's right.
So if you buy all the add-ons, your ticket's like $40. But you got the movie forever and a shirt.
Remember when
That's
we
pretty
did
cool.
We did a games
I like that.
podcast,
The
and you
soundtrack
were like, and we were
would
talking about how there's all these loot boxes and things like that, and you were like, you can't just buy a game anymore. It's like you have to buy all this, and it has the DLC, and you don't know what's in it. This feels dangerously close to that. In fact, that'd be Jack Pass. It's like mine's like sponsored by EA. It's like 40. It's like mine's like it's like
You watch the first half
yeah,
hour of a movie.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. Mine's $6. Mine's $4 a month, but you get half the film, and then if you like it, then you pay an extra $10, and then you get the rest of the film.
Oh my god.
You can pay to get rid of the scrolling ads at the bottom of the movie.
There's all this sponsored stuff all over it.
You unlock characters, so
Yeah,
like if you don't pay the
No,
extra dollar
yeah.
for Finn or Poe or something, you just have like a art outline of them.
I meant to do that when we had Matthew on the podcast. I meant to do that for the thumbnail. I meant to black him out, and be like, if you want the Matthew DLC, then you have to pay an extra
extra
$6
$10, yeah.
sort of thing.
That is
That's
funny
exactly
as.
it. Definitely, yeah, definitely, Thomas.
Yeah.
I mean, like all the effects are unfinished or something like that.
Yeah.
That would be it. It'd be the you'd pay. You know how games have early access? It'd finally be early access movies. You get to
Yeah.
watch it. It's like
Before post production.
it's before they
It's all
switch
the editing.
Christopher Plummer with Kevin Spacey. I get to watch the Kevin Spacey version,
Yes.
and then they've changed it. Oh, good lord!
That's funny.
That's amazing.
I've had fun today.
I don't know how we got. We
like that.
like stumbled and fell, but we've made it. To,
That
like-
was hilarious.
we got some time left, so we may as well do Iona's topic now.
Let's do it.
Oh, I don't know. Great.
Yeah.
Unless you had any more points you want to make.
No, that's like 180% of my points.
Okay.
Fantastic.
So mine is diving into a lot of the movies in today's times and just kind of like in general.
Oh, that's right. Yours
And
like the
so
lightning round.
yeah, so it's
What?
the
Oh.
importance of
Get ready, Jack.
story dialogue, and where it's needed and where it's not. So it's something I've been like, it's been on my mind for ages, but I just don't know how to talk about it because I don't think people quite understand where I'm coming from. Because I grew up watching such old films, and now watching these ones, I'm like, well, where's the dialogue gone?
Yeah.
In that like nice time, because it's so.
I'm with you 100% here.
It's because
I'm
it's so
on that.
efficient.
I'm just curious what she means by old films.
Oh, like kind of
Like Jurassic
late
Park.
90s.
Yeah.
Casablanca was a really
Yeah.
big one.
It's
Yeah.
I grew up
Casablanca
with.
has like 5 of the most quotable lines in film history.
Mhm.
It's like that is what film dialogue should look like.
We saw it fairly recently at the deck chair. It was on, I think
Nice.
this year, last year.
I can't remember, but a couple
We just
months
like
ago.
went, and it was just like
It was black and white, and I didn't know what to expect. I'd never even seen a trailer for it. I just knew it was one of those films. And we were watching it. I was like, I've heard that line. I've heard. Oh my god, I
Yeah.
love this film. I
Yeah.
was like halfway through it. And I was like,
nice.
Jack,
I know.
why have I never seen this?
Same with me.
before?
I don't know if it was just me. I feel like it took us, or at least it took me, because you kind of have to adjust your
Yeah, you do,
mind
yeah,
a little
yeah,
bit. You're
yeah.
like, it's black and white. It's not as easily accessible. It's not like just tune out and like watch explosions. It's like you have to sort of pay attention. It is black and white. It is a different time. They talk, they sort of talk like this, and
Yeah,
everyone it's all like it's a very you kind of have to put yourself in those shoes. But once you're there, it's a good time.
Yeah.
So, but if there's too much description, through the dialogue, there is also that running of the
Like
risk of it.
exposition sort of thing?
Yeah, exposition of it through the dialogue, it runs the risk of it being boring. And it's like when you have to sit through a villain monologue about his
You
true
sly
evil,
dog.
yeah, true evil plan. And it should be descriptive, but not also completely plain. So there's all these there's so much to think about with dialogue because I've kind of looked into script writing a little bit more because I want to start writing a play. But which is actually a big inspiration of you guys writing your plays.
Oh.
Thomas wrote a play and it was actually amazing.
What
It
play?
was the
Iona Passed the musical.
I'd watch it.
Do you mind,
was
do you mind
for
doing
the
me a favor? Do
Fringe.
you mind just checking the camera for me?
The,
I just got an anxiety flash.
What am I saying?
Just everything. Just make sure
if
what's
it's
going on?
on.
Is the battery on? Yeah. It's all running?
It's all running.
Cool, sorry.
Okay,
thanks.
cool.
Edit that part out.
Was this with Corrugated Iron?
No, this was the young theatre
Oh, of
playwriting.
course.
It was
Sorry,
beautiful.
my brain. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
So okay,
one was it?
The one you saw, the play reading.
Oh, the live table read.
yeah.
That was brilliant. We should do it on here. We should have a table read on the podcast.
Yeah.
We did once for a short film that we sort of all worked on.
Did we record that though?
No. We
No.
we just did a reading of it.
Yeah.
And me, Matt, you, and Felix, and we were in hysterics. That was so funny. Table readings are so much fun.
Yeah, that can be great.
That was really cool. That was at Brown's one. It was you and Costa, and I can't remember the two others, their scripts. And
Yep,
I just
excellent.
really liked that format. Like, it was kind of,
Yeah.
I'm trying to think the word. Like, it wasn't polished because they had only read it for the first time, but that was like part of the charm. Like,
Yeah.
they were reading it for the first time, and you guys were hearing it from actors for the first time. Like, I was talking to Costa about it, and he had like a line written, and how he thought it was meant to be in his head. He had it, and then to hear the actor like deliver it completely different, he was like, oh, and you kind of have that like. That's better actually, or you think it's worse perhaps. But yeah, it's a fun.
Because there's not much difference between, because a conversation in real life is not something that you would ever write down and put into a film, because conversations literally lead nowhere. But in films, they need to,
Yeah,
a film
pretty
you
much.
need to have it like Tarantino.
You have to make it seem natural while still being...
He does it beautifully. He talks about, they were like talking about hamburgers
Yeah.
at the start, and it was like they were talking about tomato, rubbing foot massages and stuff, but it was all went towards the story, but you didn't notice, and it was just like until if you're actually analysed, you're like, oh my god, that's what they were meaning.
My favourite quote ever about writing is the Anton Chekhov one, where it's like, don't tell them the moon is shining, you got to show them the glint of light on glass, or whatever the quote is. But it's like that. It's like, you can't have two guys walk into a room and talk to each other about how tough they are or whatever. You have to show that through the dialogue and the way they move, even like the whole thing about... Yeah, it's cool. Dialogue is so important.
Because
There was a thing. There was a script thing. I saw. Yeah, it was like two excerpts, and one it's like the wife comes home to the husband, and she's like, "We're broke, and I hate you," or something like that. And it's like you shouldn't. It's like,
Yeah.
and then it had like the way it was like it was redone. It's like the wife came home, the husband was like lying on the couch, and it was like everything was just written sort of thing. It's
Yeah.
like it's like you're an alcoholic. It's like instead of just saying that, it was like she saw her husband surrounded by bottles. Sort of thing. Like, you just. I mean, I'm a big
Because-
fan of that as well. The show Don't Tell, which is
That's-
why I like Stanley Kubrick a lot. Like,
Because
he's
Makes
very
me
good.
having
think of
this-
the 3 Billboards as well. Sorry, but
Oh.
the writer
No,
of those,
yeah.
I can't remember his name.
Martin
He's-
McDonough.
Yes,
Love him.
so good. One of my favorites.
Because, like,
What else did he do?
Absolutely.
having these ideas in my head for a while, I noticed that so many movies in today's times, especially in comedy, they don't balance between visual, sound, and dialogue. They kind of just always end up using dialogue to tell us the big details in the story. And that's why comedies are just such a flat thing for me at the moment, because they're not like... It's like Singing in the Rain is like such a classic because it's such short, quick... not only are they saying like really short, quick punchlines, they're actually like showing it with the way they're dancing all over the place, and just like with the microphone scene, how she's like trying to figure out the microphone and she's just like this and like talking really loud and then going really quiet, and it's just really funny because they're using like all elements of their like surroundings and stuff.
Yeah, I haven't seen a comedy that really made me laugh out loud in a while.
Game Night was the last one.
Game Night. Okay,
And that
Game Night was amazing.
And that had like the cinematography in that movie was
It's
way better than it needed to be.
incredible.
Like it was so
Totally.
good. Because that's the interesting. I think I was reading something. Do you guys watch the Nerd Writer on YouTube? Have you seen any of his videos?
Yeah.
Like his video essays and stuff like that. Actually, I actually don't know if this one was him. I might be giving him false credit. But basically,
Shout out though.
basically it was like comedies. Yeah, it's just like a conversation, and then they just film it essentially. Like they just sort of turn the cameras on, and they were praising Edgar Wright in the way he does the visual comedy sort of thing. Like he does the comedy out of the way he does. Like it's not just a joke. It's like he'll pull comedy from the blocking of the actors or just the scene or the transitions. Like when he does those fast cuts and stuff like that. Like. And I think that's, like visual comedy is so good in that way because you just pull it. Yeah, I think that's why Game Night works so well. It wasn't just jokes. It was all scenario based, like where he's trying to clean the dog and the blood's like going everywhere and it just and
they're trying to get the bullet out of the arm.
Me and my girlfriend at the time, we were crying it was so
It's
funny.
like Archer as well, like the animated show Archer. If you
Yeah.
guys have ever seen that, like just the simpleness of those jokes. Like they'll have like a scene transition to the next scene halfway through a line of dialogue, so they'll have a completely different set of characters finish it, and even though they're unrelated, it's so funny. Like just little things.
Because it's like so.
So what's sort of the point you're trying to hone in on here?
Yeah. So
Sorry, that wasn't meant to be rude at all. That was meant to.
Hold on.
It's all about.
I also love it when directors use sound and visuals to set the story instead of using dialogue. So like dialogue is just like another platform for people to be really impacted by the characters.
Yeah.
So like the biggest one for me is Blade Runner 2049. That was beautiful.
Great. Sorry, I thought we were still on comedies. I was like, wait, that's in last one.
Blade Runner 2049 comedy.
No.
Yeah, when she said like "I love you" and then she died, like
Yeah.
Yes. That's the Iona laugh.
No, that's right. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, okay, hold on, I've lost it. So the issue I see in film at the moment is directors using dialogue to explain simple things, because it's just, in reality, people, when they like talk in real life, they're never, when like two people know each other and have some sort of relationship, they don't actually need to say something that they both say. So they come in and they go, our parents dead, what are we going to do? That's just really bad script writing.
Yeah.
So it's like a thing of like what, because the down point for it was, I think my biggest thing is dialogue's sole artistic option, and what it's really designed for is to reveal not the plot but the characters instead, which is something that Quentin turned.
I don't know if that's always the case, but I like that concept.
Yeah, and but it's
like
just
the magician. What is it? It's like, look at that hand, but not what I'm doing with this one. Almost, it's like
so it's
baiting
like
you with one conversation. Yeah, sorry.
No. And what do you guys think that creates like good dialogue? Because that's what I think in the end, is that it's not about the plot, but it's about the character instead.
Well, some of my favourite film writers, the very verbose ones like Martin McDonagh,
So good.
and Aaron
Seven
Sorkin.
Psychopaths is another one.
Yeah. In Bruges.
They did that one.
In Bruges, yes.
They did
And
those ones,
Three
okay.
Billboards.
Yeah.
They're all great.
So
Yeah.
Very
When
fun.
when you said this was going to be our topic earlier today, my first two thoughts was Martin McDonagh, whose name I forgot, and Aaron Sorkin.
Oh, me too.
Oh,
there you go.
so
There
you
you
know what
go.
my first one was, which is why I was happy you said Quentin Tarantino. My first thing immediately that came to mind when you're talking about dialogue and scenes, or the absence of, Inglourious Bastards, like Tarantino. Like that opening scene especially, with that
so
rising tension. Like, that is
Yeah.
one of the best scenes ever. Like,
It's
when it's just
amazing.
where he talks about other stuff, it's like, can I have another glass of your delicious milk?
Of
Yeah.
your delicious
And then it just like, you're just like, fuck, this dude's creepy. And then and then when he just slowly calls him out, he's like, you're hiding them under your floorboards, aren't you? And his face is, they cut back to him and it's like, his face is completely changed. He's
Yeah.
like, it's so bad. And Tarantino does that so well. He's
Tarantino
done-
is genius, yeah.
and I think the thing I read about him is like it is the silliness, because it is, he talks about stuff that doesn't seem integral to the plot. Yeah, like quarter pounder with cheese and stuff like that. But it's like so endearing. It kind of makes it more real because people do just talk about.
That's
things
how
like
a
that.
character becomes like 3-dimensional.
Yeah.
And I think it's similar with Aaron Sorkin's stuff. The characters just talk endlessly about seemingly
Have you
meaningless
ever
things.
seen The West Wing? You must have.
I love The West Wing. They're just talking the whole time, and not about what's going on here
Oh, it's
usually.
so good.
But
It
you
works.
just love them.
I think he was my second person I was thinking of. I guess is like Aaron's. I was like, oh, like
Yeah.
really standout dialogue. And I heard about him. It's like he's really good at writing the way people don't talk. So the thing, because people
Right.
do, it is very heightened and crazy.
Yeah.
But you just watch it, and I think it is better in some things than others. Like I've heard the Newsroom. It's like it's to him. Like
It
it's
can
like
get
they
quite
let him.
idealistic. kind
Yeah,
of,
it's like he's got free reign. He's got too much power. Whereas I think when he's under like someone else,
Yeah.
like The Social Network, where he's sort of with David Fincher, I think it brings it back down. I think,
Yeah.
and I've heard I've not seen The West Wing, but that's really good. And I
Molly's
was going to
Game
bring
is
up,
great, yeah.
I was going to bring up Jobs as well, the Steve Jobs movie.
Yeah.
And that made me,
They're all good films.
There we go,
I thought
Steve
that was
Jobs.
okay, but the funny thing about that movie was hearing Aaron Sorkin dialogue come out of like an 8-year-old, his daughter.
Yeah.
She starts talking like him, and I was like, bravo, this little girl who's like having to deliver these chunky lines of dialogue, and it's because all his characters are so uber confident and like sort of thing. They all like talk really quickly
Yeah.
and things
It's just,
like
they're
that.
snappy, yeah.
Yeah, it's snappy, which I'm like, there's no way an 8-year-old is this
Yeah.
snappy and confident. She's like I can't even remember the scene, but I was just like, it made me so uncomfortable because she's quipping along with Michael Fassbender sort of thing.
I love that movie. It's intense.
It is good. Anything Aaron Sorkin writes, like, yeah, it can be a little bit like hyper realistic, but it still works. I don't know.
And just flipping it around to how you said, some movies have too much bad dialogue and stuff. There are some movies that I think should have no dialogue, that they'd be great if they were a silent film.
Just gonna
And
say that.
so on your last episode, I saw you talked about The Last Airbender. I think if it had no dialogue, it'd be great.
You did
Oh,
say
yeah.
you did say you were
The
going to bring
visuals-
that
Because
up.
the dialogue,
The visuals
honestly,
and the music.
the dialogue is
fun.
what kills it in
Yeah.
that film. They said everything wrong.
I've forgotten. When I say forgotten, I've forced out of my mind most of that film, so I have to take your word for it.
I
haven't
couldn't
rewatched
agree
it
more
lately?
with you
I
with
didn't
that.
miss- I didn't-
rewatched
I actually
it.
watch
'cause
it
I was
once a
like,
month.
I need to hate something
Just to
today.
remind myself.
You have your days where you just need to put all your hate into something. I watched The Last Airbender and I just hate it all over again. It's beautiful.
Okay.
I've been quiet for long enough. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't want to get into it, but
Yeah.
that does, you've brought back so many sort of painful and good memories though.
We've
Because
actually got PTSD.
that film does star, and it's like Avatar Ong or something. And
Right.
everyone was like, "Isn't it Aang?" And then like they said Avatar weird as well.
Yeah,
and that was from the get-go. That was from the opening crawl, and already it was like,
I remember
you've
that.
lost me.
I was in the cinema. And there's like 4 people having like physically like
Yeah.
repulsed. I
One
was
of
like,
my
relax,
topics.
guys.
One of my topics I want to have is unpopular opinions. Like if we're brave enough to do that, because honestly, Thomas, when those
Yeah.
trailers came out, and I said this on the last podcast, I thought this
Yeah.
was going to be the film to bring him back.
Yeah.
Because I thought the trailers were really cool.
Yeah.
And the music, I agree.
visuals and the
visuals
soundtrack
are
are-
really on the water when they bring him out.
Yes.
Like, and even Appa looks really good. At least
Yeah.
back then, from my memory, it looked really good.
Yeah.
And even the cinematography, there's like a scene in that where they're fighting in the Earthbender temple. It's all like one shot.
They do one-shot stuff. It's
and
amazing.
I was like, this is pretty cool.
There's some great choreography.
Yeah, I was like,
I,
this
all
is.
right, I actually might watch it again.
I was like, this is pretty cool, but
I'll watch it with you. You
but
can.
yeah, it's just kind of.
Point out other good stuff.
Yeah.
It's just a bit. From memory, none of the characters are very likable. It's just not got any of the charm. It's a bit odd and messy, and it's one of those things where they're trying to cram an entire season of a show into a movie.
and a great show.
And the show's like one of the best shows of all time, and but with the movie, and it was like, yeah, it's just one of those things. Like it doesn't necessarily stand on its own because it was probably made as a trilogy and then nobody liked it, so they didn't continue that, I guess. Yeah.
Because another film
yeah.
in the whole dialogue, what they did really amazing was the short film, the science film that they did. It was 2012, The Artist. Have any of you guys have seen that?
Won the Oscar.
That is an amazing film. They made that in, I think it was like 75 days.
I haven't seen it. I actually borrowed it once from a video store library thing, and I didn't get time. It's been on my list for so long.
And they talk at the end, which just makes it... Oh, sorry.
Spoilers for The Artist.
Wow.
People are going to be frothing.
There's four people in Darwin that have seen that film, and 3 of them are in this room.
I like because we don't get it up here, but unless it like wins the Oscar, then it's suddenly out in cinema. And I saw it and I loved it. And then I took a whole bunch of friends to see it. I love that movie.
I loved it.
I want to watch it.
The
It
point
was a
of it
very fun film.
Yeah.
And it was funny too. The
was really
dog
sweet
was
and cute.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Now he was reading the thing and the dog's just like this. And then he puts down and the dog copies. It's really cute. It's a great film.
I will watch it.
Yeah.
So like there is that whole level there to the whole idea of dialogue and that it isn't always needed.
Yeah.
And that you can do a film completely silent with no dialogue and it is just as beautiful as something with the dialogue in it. It's just I just have noticed in today's times that dialogue has just kind of been thrown in because they feel the need that it needs to be and that in order for them to explain or show or develop a movie that the character needs to actually say what's happening.
Yeah.
But really,
I
there's
think
different things to help you with it.
For me, dialogue, and I say this like all the time, in terms of viewing films as a writer, dialogue is all about, the way the film is written. So it's plot as well. Like it's all one thing. I don't even want to see what this says.
This is why I sort of saved your topic for last because I knew we'd all sort of dive into it. I think with the way, like I think
The more we talk about it, the more things come.
The more exactly, I'm like things
thinking
are fine.
Watchmen,
Also,
Sicario.
I mean, like
Watchmen is great.
I'm thinking they did a bonus feature for The Last Jedi with no sound except the soundtrack. It's kind of an amazing different experience. It's just John Williams' soundtrack.
Is that actually true?
It's true. Yeah, no, it's a thing. It's actually a bonus feature.
Can we do an episode of the podcast where we watch that and we dub it? Can we please do that? Jack, please. Jack. Jack, can we?
I'll think about it. We'll put a pin in that.
I might have got in there.
And really quickly, a last question as well is that I strongly believe that while in a lot of cases is movie trailers, and we were talking about it the last episode too, that they go on for too long and that they drag on.
Yeah.
But, what if a lot of trailers just took dialogue out of it and showed us like a small scene or just showed us a couple more
Because what they do
shots,
at the moment is they
even
put dialogue into it. They'll show a scene and then they'll have like voiceovers of all other parts of the movie.
Well, that's what I was going to bring
Like
up.
Star
Is the
Wars.
new Venom trailer.
Yeah.
It's like that editor like. He did a Herculean task of doing that first monologue. It's literally every second word feels like it's from a different scene. It's like, my name, Ed Rock. And I was walking to the facility. Like, it's
already a funny Tom Hardy voice, yeah.
I feel like people are split on that movie. I see people sharing it being like, fuck yeah, and I'm like, I think it's gonna be fucking terrible. I really do.
I don't know.
Think that. I'm keen for it, and
I'm half and half. I think there are going to be some really good scenes in it, but as an overall film, it's not going to be good.
I think I was sold on it until I saw the Venom vs. Venom thing. I was like, even in a villain origin story, we still have to get the
I've watched that scene. It's like Transformers. I'm like, it's just like CGI
black gooey mess.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't comprehend it. Maybe I don't know.
I never had high hopes for it, and I don't. I
still hope it's good. There's bits of it already that I'm just like, I don't want to watch that on the big screen.
Right. Yeah, everyone have a think about sort of the final kind of points you want to make on this topic, because we're running a little bit over an hour now, but I don't mind. But I want to wrap up eventually.
Yeah.
But so
let me just finish by saying, all right, one quick story. Sicario is a great film if you guys haven't seen it, and the second one's out soon if it's not already.
But different director.
I haven't heard if it's good or not. So But Sicario, apparently Benicio del Toro plays this really mysterious sort of character, and apparently he had heaps of dialogue and exposition explaining who he was and his backstory. And then when he took the character, he cut like 80% of it, or some ridiculous, like 80% of his lines. He was just like, the character won't work if I'm saying all this. So I guess less is more, you know, for dialogue. I think not always, but
Yeah.
you know, cut out the bull. You know, let us just see and gain the story through, you know, the character moments, I guess. Anyway, Watchmen is a great film. I say it every podcast, and the dialogue in Watchmen is great.
Or even the absence of. They have so many scenes just set to music, like
Yeah.
Yep.
like the opening, like that's
Oh,
just
the
all
opening.
visual montages
Yes.
set to Bob
Best
Dylan's
opening.
song.
Best opening.
Like that's really good.
So good. That's
I mean,
my last point.
that
I'm
was
not
sort of-
talking again on this podcast.
That was like a scrap topic. It was like soundtracks and stuff like that. But I think we won't necessarily get into what. What do you say? Why are you annoyed?
Sean has finished talking on this podcast. It's just us three now.
One down.
Yeah.
Not to, because my point was going back to the last Airbender, going way back when I was talking about that with unpopular opinions. Is I don't say that. I don't give that film any praise because I know people get livid if you're like, well, I thought this one part that like the film's like they just get visibly angry. I think like there's a few films like that. Like Shrek 3's up there. If you said anything good about Shrek 3, people you just like
I
execute.
liked
or sort of-
Shrek 3.
dialogue in Shrek 2.
Oh, you're a big fat liar. Here you go.
I
Here's your
tried.
microphone.
That was my silent film moment.
I guess. Oh, I mean,
My last point is that I've just got the Spider-Man 3 Venom theme stuck in my head now, which is a really cool theme. It goes like, ba-da-da-da-da-da. It's really jazzy. Yeah, there you go.
I mean, again, that was one of the scrapped ideas was best soundtracks,
Next week.
but then because they get mixed up with scores, but I think they'll have to sit on that one
Oh.
because I think it's more, I guess, the way directors use that stuff. Like I think
I made that mistake.
Zack
even-
Snyder is like he's really good with utilizing, I think, music and soundtracks, and like even with Guardians and stuff like that, the Galaxy, and Edgar Wright, like and like what I mentioned with Stanley Kubrick, because he's a very visual storyteller, which is also, I guess, why I like a lot of animated stuff as well, because they can do, like I just watched The Road to El Dorado, and that humor is so witty and snappy, but it also has so much visual comedy, because with animation you have such great control over that. You have like immediate control of the timing, and as films get more advanced with the visual effects, we see that now, especially with Guardians of the Galaxy. Like you can have a photo kind of realistic raccoon, and he's so snappy and can keep up with the real actors and stuff like that. I'll check it later.
Yeah.
There's too many.
Just keep going.
Number 32, whatever. Because there's that scene in the El Dorado where they're on the boat and the seagull lands and it's like and it like collapses and they're all like about to eat it and there's no dialogue. They're just like, and then like and the shark just like eats it and then they just start crying, and it's just like such a cool visual gag. But even I'm surprised none of you guys actually mentioned it. I'm not the biggest fan of the movie personally, but WALL-E. The first 40 minutes of that film is silent, I believe, or it's just sound
Didn't even
effects.
think of it.
Sound effects. That's another
Well, because
one.
I don't know, I just...
Now I'm just thinking of stuff like Emperor's New Groove and...
Yeah, but I think WALL-E specifically because there
Atlantis.
is like no dialogue, it's just like the
Yeah,
noises
yeah.
and stuff like that. But
I
I
didn't
really
even think
like
of that.
the short film on the DVD, Bernie, because that's like, it's sort of like a condensed version of WALL-E, which is why I like it so much more. It's like 4 minutes and it's just using the expressions and like, because they're just robots, so it's like, they just kind of like sigh and tilt kind of thing. They don't like express that much, but he's basically just trying to complete his one little task that this robot is designed to do, and he can't do it, and it's just it's really cool. But you mentioned Aaron Sorkin in the dialogue.
Iona, do you have any closing points?
No, just that was like kind of my closing point, is that movies need to get better.
Whoa, big call.
Dropping the
You say that
gauntlet.
like every podcast, like
Yeah.
do you? Almost.
Oh, yeah.
How do you know? I'm very excited. Movies are going to get better.
I'm looking forward to that.
I guess
You're already
because
pretty
we were
good.
talking about like going to the
Yeah,
cinema,
you
and we're
did
talking about
say
like how
that.
people just watch stuff at home, and they, like you said, people just have it on in the background.
Maybe that's why they do so much exposition, because people don't pay attention anymore.
Yeah.
That's probably it.
That's my point.
People are actually
what you
too
just said.
stupid.
People have it on in the background and play Overwatch instead of watching.
Yeah, but I
Hard
don't do
to
that
do-
with shit films. I don't do that with,
I know,
like...
but you're probably like you could be missing all this visual comedy. I suppose I'm not talking
No,
about you. I mean
no,
people
no,
in
no.
general. Like I think people don't have that attention span, so they can just list like.
Yeah.
I kind of did it for Mad Men because that show is all about dialogue and talking. There's not a lot of action in Mad Men, and so I did kind of do other things. Like I was doing like uni assignments and just had Mad Men on.
Wow.
Sorry, I was sort of half watching it, and that show's phenomenal. And but that's what I mean. If a film was silent or visual, it kind of requires like 100% of your attention.
Yeah,
and I think people just don't give.
What?
People just don't give their attention as much anymore, which is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
That's
So
why
true.
everyone should subscribe to Iona Pass, okay?
To bring it back around.
Boom.
Iona Pass TM. Sean Pass.
Tom Pass is closing, so you can just go with the other ones.
I like, it's
Mine's just the Loot Crate box. You just pay $6 and you don't know what movies are going to come out. Just 6 of them. And you're like, oh, like, I really wanted the good one. And, like, that's how I get you. Because, like, you might get it in a different... It's just gambling.
I hate your idea. It makes me so angry.
That's brilliant.
Have any of you seen the film Sideways?
No.
Never heard of it.
With Paul Giamatti and Thomas Hayden Church from Spider-Man 3. Why is he not in more things?
Who's Thomas Hayden Church?
Isn't he the
He's
Sandman?
the Sandman.
Oh, cool, yeah.
He sort of talks. He's like, I have a daughter. She's very sick.
He played the teacher in Easy
he's
A.
so
I just watched him in Daddy's Home. He's
So
the
good.
boss. He's like, what did that story have to do with it? Oh, absolutely nothing. Like, but it's a good story. Like he just is so deadpan always. Like,
Yeah.
And I just wish he was
He's
in more
dry,
things.
he's
But
good.
Sideways is a really well-made film. And
Paul Giamatti too.
and he's great in it. And it's all about like wine. And there's a great scene where he's talking about this bottle of wine or the way he likes wine, but it's all metaphors for like him as a person kind of thing.
Right.
He's like, oh, I like this wine because it needs to be like, you can't just bust it out all the time, or like you need to like take care of it. It needs to be like opened slowly, sort of thing, to allow like the aromas to seep into. So it's I'm doing a horrible job butchering the dialogue, but it is like it's all kind of metaphorical for him. And so that just came to mind as well when we were talking about the way dialogue can be two different things, or it should be deeper. It shouldn't just be. I don't know. Hi, I'm entering the scene
Like,
now.
there should be less of it, but it should have more in it.
It needs layers.
Less is more,
Like
yeah.
onions.
Onions need have layers.
It's a quotable line. It's a perfect example.
Now.
Nailed it.
Yeah, I got the nails.
All right, end it there. End it there. We've all given our last points.
Yeah, sorry, I just put a thinking face, but no.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well done.
I'm done.
Okay.
Speaking of too much dialogue, when Finn in Last Jedi is like,
doing it again.
hey, they hate that. Yeah, they hate that ship. Ha 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 ha. What a terrible line. Where they're shooting at the Millennium Falcon. He's like, ha, they hate that ship. I was
It's
like,
one line.
he didn't
It's
need
like
to say
5
that.
words, and
It's
it's,
too much.
true.
It's too
And
much.
he's having a good time. And I'm having a good time. Okay? They do hate that shit.
I know that. I don't need him to tell me that.
Everyone else in the audience doesn't. Or the kids.
That's
They're
what I mean. Everything's so self-aware
chasing
now.
that
That's
shit.
the other. Everything's so self-aware. They have to point it out now. Like in Jurassic World, when he's like, look at my shirt about Jurassic Park. Ha 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 ha. Like, and they're like, shouldn't talk about that. People died. God, just shut up. Just yeah, I agree. Just everyone shut up.
Everyone shut up. That's a fair point. Like, I'm not actually going to defend that line of Finn's. Like, I wouldn't be sad if they cut that out. Sure. I'm going to watch the silent version of The Last Jedi.
Watch The Quiet Place too. Have you seen that?
I love The Quiet Place.
There you go.
Yes.
Oh, the
There
first
you go.
scene in The Quiet Place?
Just
Yeah.
The whole movie.
that's
Well, the whole movie, but particularly the first scene is
Is that where they're walking in the
in the
gets
shop.
attacked?
So it's the
Oh.
strikingly, like, quiet one where you're hearing the people with popcorn around you and everything.
That had everyone like there's the trailer before it where it's like turn off your phone or whatever it is, and that's literally how that film is. You're like, I'm like trying to eat like so quiet.
Yeah.
You can hear like your own heartbeat like when you watch that movie.
Yeah.
That
That's
has
a brilliant movie.
an incredible effect on audience people.
It does. It's an amazing use
It was
of
a
silence.
very good concept.
Mm.
I think hopefully I still haven't seen it because I have to wait till.
Well,
to
that's
see
your
horror
problem.
films.
You're like, oh, there's no good films with dialogue. There's a perfectly good one that everyone loves, and you're like, no.
Yeah, but
If
please.
it's not on Iona Pass,
scary.
I'm not watching it.
No, but it's scary.
I have to skip through all the scary parts. I'm someone who can't just watch a horror film. I freak out.
Well, I
Oh,
caught you before
can't.
just watching Black Swan, and that's like...
I didn't know that was a horror.
That's my strategy, is we shouldn't have pitched Quiet Place as a horror. We should just...
Yeah, it's a family drama.
Yeah.
It's family drama.
The Quiet Place, because they're playing the quiet game. Get out. Who can
It's
keep
actually just an
quiet?
hour and a
on
half
this?
of
Yeah.
dead fish.
Yeah. Because when I was watching Black Swan, you were like, oh, you shouldn't watch this at night. It's scary. I was like, it's scary? I was like, this is actually really good. So I'm like, now I'm just like kind of put it away like...
It's a romance. I don't know. There's a
I
sex
know.
scene.
I was like, no, I should have said that. Alright, guys. We should probably wrap up then. But
Yeah.
is there anything... Not about the topic, but is there anything that you've plugged or anything that's coming up? Any movies you're excited about? Or anything?
That are coming out.
Or just anything you want to plug? How's your short film coming along?
Oh, good. Yeah, I'm editing a short film. It'll be at the Darwin International Film Festival. It's one of the Spark films. I think they're showing on the 16th of September, which is a Sunday, at the Deck Chair Cinema. So if you're in Darwin, I hope I got the dates right and stuff. Iona helped make it.
Yeah, definitely going to be there.
And everything's good, and thank you. There we go.
Thomas, it's been a pleasure having you on the podcast.
Oh,
We'll have to get you back for soundtracks and Star Wars and whatnot.
I love soundtracks and Star Wars.
We do too.
I mean,
But if it's not part of the original trilogy. Yeah.
That's the Venom theme. You should look it up. It actually does sound like that.
Well, I just like the Mission Impossible, that friction song. I had that in my head the whole time.
Oh,
Can't fight the friction.
and that is a good trailer. If we're speaking of good trailers,
Yeah.
the trailer nailed it.
Anyway, guys, join us after this for the Mission Impossible Fallout spoiler cast.
Woo-hoo.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Thomas, thank you for
Bye.
coming.
Thank you.
See ya.
Bye, bye.
Bye.
You guess every week. I'm on Costa next week.
Don't promise that.
2 weeks.
I'm running out of friends.